Salute, salute, salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. Make sure you hit that like button, family. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Much love and respect. We are back. We are back. Make sure salute. Now today's title is Everything is Food. The ecosystem. You are food for thought. You are food that's being produced for the gods or the guides who are creating this reality. A lot of us like to speak about the demiurge. A lot of us like to outline the hierarchy when it comes into this system of things. What we have to realize is when you think about a chicken was created solely for the feeding of a human being. Just like a cow was created solely for the feeding of a human being. A chicken and a cow does not know that they are food. A chicken and a cow lives its life thinking that its life is special. A chicken and a cow, a chicken would think that its life is all about fucking other chickens or eating food off of a floor. A cow would think his whole life is minding the pasture. A chicken and a cow not really realizing or looking at life as if they're being fed upon. We're inside of the ecosystem. They call it an ecosystem. One thing eats another to feed another. We've been told about the Tower of Babel. And we talk about plane nets and all these types of things that we talk about. Powers and principalities that be. So when we're talking about powers and principalities that be, we only look at things from a physical aspect. So while we're just looking at things from a physical aspect, we don't understand that our energy is being siphoned, that our energy is being we're under a vampirism system. We're in a system to where people who don't have the solar power that you have, polar beings who are a representation of polar energy, non-solar energy. They're a representation of polar beings. Polar beings have no solar connection to this plane. And while we, on the other hand, do have the solar connection to this plane, we seem to have or find inconsistencies when it comes to having a polar connection to this plane. When the body experiences different emotions, the body tends to make these elixirs. The body tends to make these certain chemicals that are being bred upon or fed upon from those who are more powerful than us. These are powers and principalities that be. When you're happy, there are entities that can feed off of your happy energy or your happy power. There are energies that can feed off your sad energy. It's something that want to eat that too. So this is where we need to realize that everything is food. Every looking thing, even when we look into nature and we're trapped in this demiurge and we're looking at this demiurge God. Now I need y'all to hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe because we're going to go deep today. Right? So this demiurge God is created us to be a source of energy. When you think about the black box overseas that these people are walking around praying, when you think about the media when they're projecting all of these different mind frames and all these different feelings and emotions upon the people to feel. Why you think they doing that? Because they're able to cipher your energy through vampirism. Yes, this is why nothing that we're going through, it's not a physical fight. This is why they say this is a spiritual war. It's all about the unseen, because the mind is the laying ground for the physical. So when we plant a seed in the mind, we should be able to make this thing grow in the physical. This is the offset that we're having here, people. And we're looking at everything surface level. We're looking at things surface level because we have all the solar power in the universe. And we're dealing with people who have no solar power. It's a mirror of exchange. So for them to have you in fear, for them to have you in survival mode, will give them the total opposite reciprocate of the energy. It's like when people go to church. You go to church to pay a tithe offering to the so-called God of this earth. And when you go to church to pay a tithe offering to the so-called God of this earth, you look to then receive what's called a blessing. But if you do the etymology on the word, it will be a blessing. You're actually practicing divination to find a connection to the divine. This is paganistic practices. So in all and with all, we should stay within the level of divinity. We're serving a God who we think that we're going to upset if we don't do the right things after we pay a certain price just to be. We're paying a certain price just to be in this system with this God that we look at in the sky, who is just going to either bless us or curse us based on what he feels about us. And we're not understand that there are powers and principalities that were here since the beginning of time. This is just a rite of passage. All is thought. You are food for thought. You're food for thought, because if you produce bad thoughts, then bad thoughts produce bad energies or bad elixirs or bad frequencies or bad juices for the enemy to suck up and cipher up. This is why the media is so projective with its agenda, because they don't want you to know that you are food. These people who we dealing with on this earth, they are not of the divine. So these people cannot have a solar connection. They feed off your solar connection. What are your emotions saying? How are your emotions driving you? See, the body is a vessel. A body is a vessel for energy to be stored. And once energy goes inside of that body, then energy is able to be manifested outside of that body. The body is just a medium. So energy goes into a body on this plane, and then on this plane, the energy, the type of energy that's produced into that body as a vessel is able to be manipulated onto this plane. This is what spiritual warfare is all about. We talking about spiritual warfare here, people. So when you're being thrown off, or when you're offset on how your vessel should be to receive the type of energy that you're supposed to be receiving, you're being food for the guides or those powers who are above you. Salutes to my brother, the enemy's public. Much love and respect. And this is where we have to become aware of what we are and what our purpose is. Because to be in this world and not of this world is to be in this world and to withgo all of the physical aspects of this world without being contaminated by the physical aspects of this world. If you allow your physical situation to taint you while you're moving through this reality, then you will too become tainted. Then your solar connection to this whole universe will become tainted. This is what spiritual warfare is. So we can no longer get caught up in situations and circumstances, because that's what it all comes down to anyway. Situations and circumstances. Even if we argue the fact about Christ, we can't go back and argue 2,000 years about Christ, and neither I was alive or neither you were alive during that time. But what we can argue is, does Christ's consciousness exist? Does Christ's consciousness exist? And to deny Christ's consciousness is to deny Christ. Whether you're denying a physical being being around 2,000 years ago or not, you're denying that the light, the truth, the power of the divine resides in you. So when you deny that the light, the power, and the energy of the true divine resides in you, then you accumulate a mindset of being animalistic. You accumulate an animalistic mindset. So you start to practice the ways of the pagan, those who do not have a solar connection to this universe, those who are not solarly connected to the ether or the astral plane. These motherfuckers lie and they tell y'all that this is a 3D world. This is not a 3D world, it's a 2D world. You can only see in 2D. The 3D comes when you accept these two-dimensional images or experiences within your astral mind or your astral body. When you can't even accept these two-dimensional experiences or images into your astral mind or your astral body, then you're not even living in a three-dimensional world. These dimensions are the steps upon the step pyramid that should be inside of your mind. The outside step pyramids are only a representation of how far the dimensions go with inside of your mind. For you to be interconnected to this universe, for you to get towards what you believe or what you think is as God, but the God of this earth, the demiurge God, this physical God, this fire circle God, has all of you niggas trapped inside of an illusion. The illusion of inclusion. We're under the illusion that because we are going through certain things on a physical aspect, that it's including us, when we're not included inside of these physical experiences and these physical images at all. We're supposed to be in this world and not of this world. You can't be in this world and of this world without suffering. This is why they telling us right now. They saying, hey, we bringing the troops in on everybody, but then we worried about aliens too, because they are higher beings. There's a collective consciousness of the mind. The collective consciousness of the mind have created these beings. The collective consciousness of the mind have created these beings. So any beings or any image that the people represent or so for give their energy or their power to, yes, it exists. Yes, it exists. because we're giving our energy and we're giving our power to it. There's a collective consciousness. Now, when you make a building, there's a spiritual side to a building too. There's dimensions to a building. They're going to tell you this building is going to be 62 feet by 45 feet. Those are the dimensions to that building. Okay? So that's the spiritual side to that building. So what we have to understand is everything comes from the non-physical. There's a movie on Netflix called The Gods, to where the gods are dying because the people are not praying to the gods anymore. See, these powers and principalities that be, they need your energy to be siphoned. A lot of the people on this planet are serving different religions that are getting them to the same destination. Let me say that again. A lot of people are serving different religions that are getting them back to the same destination. The energy is being siphoned like two people sucking out of a straw within the same cup. The ether is the eater. So when we get into this demiurge and we start to praise the demiurge God, and when we start praising Sophia and Abraxas and all these physical type things that we can relate terms to, and we start to put the spiritual, we start to anthropomorphize what we talking about God is, and what we calling God are all just physical attributes of the Creator. This is what the Tower of Babel really is. It's a system of ciphering. A system of ciphering of the energy. If we look at the ecosystem, the ECO system, the ecosystem, a snake will eat a rat. But then an eagle will turn around and eat a snake. One thing feeds the other. So in a system to where one thing feeds the other, you don't think something's feeding off you? Why do you think the media will come in and give you something that will make you produce a certain type of emotion? Because your body produces a certain type of liquid or a certain elixir that's sweet tasting to them. They love the recipe. The recipe is the most important thing. It ain't what's being made that's what's going to outlast. What's being made is the emotion that you are having. If you hooked on hope, you hooked on instant gratification rather than the recipe of what's giving you this thing that you like or what you love. Everything is motherfucking food. And you are food for thought. You are being fed upon. We've been bred in this universe, on this earth plane, for we don't know how many years for our energy to be siphoned. This is why the media is so prevalent. This is why we are trapped in a construct to where they're trying to inflict pain in certain different degrees of emotional triumphs, in certain degrees of emotional downfalls. And you don't get why that's happening. It's because they're energy vampires. We've had this discussion on this channel before, but I was a lot less educated on what energy vampires is, and this was just 2 months ago, people. I've learned so much more on what energy vampires was within that amount of time. That's why I'm doing this stream here today. We got to look at what type of God that this God of this earth and the God of this Bible is. You're paying tithes to receive a blessing. It's a part of a pyramid scheme. The prism is the prison. As above, so below. Your body is a prism. This earth, this universe is a prism. All the spectrum of lights break down upon this. These are the different gods or guides, and these are the gods or guides who are controlling this universe. Now we about to get shit mixed up with how things supposed to be and how things are. Like on another previous show that we did man create God or did God create man? The creator created man. Man created all of these different attributes of these different aspects of God what would suit their living arrangement or would suit their nature. Yes. Man made all these different attributes of God that would suit their in particular nature. This is what's playing out on the spirit realm. Even when it comes to a situation like what happened to Charlie Clark, right? This guy that just passed the other day. A lot of our people would like to say, hey, he was saying a bunch of stuff, so, so be it. But you start to lose your solar integrity when you start to agree with somebody dying for some shit that they would say. See, whether or not this person harmed you, it ain't what is what you did. It's how you thought about this situation. It ain't about what the other person did. It's about what type of person you are. You got to pay your way through the toll. You got to pay your way to cross the bridge. We not in control of this shit, man. And I'm tired of you niggas saying what you gonna do when you die and all this shit. You ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. You gonna go where the rest of the souls are collected at, nigga. You gonna go where the rest of the people are collected at, nigga. You ain't finna do shit. I see the numbers get low. I don't care what y'all say. I'm here to tell you the truth. You not finna do a motherfucking thing, bro. Ain't nobody in control of no shit, bro. This earth, this universe has been running. There's people in power. You gotta understand what the fuck you are before you even know who the fuck you are. This shit backwards. You don't even know you a fucking chicken. You a jive fucking turkey, nigga. A chicken ain't nothing but a dumbed down ass turkey. A turkey lives in the wilderness. A turkey has a whole life and a whole motherfucking purpose. But a dumbed down chicken don't. That's why your ass sitting up here saying, we ain't what we was once created to be. That's because you a fucking jive turkey now. You's a chicken, nigga. Your energy's being siphoned. And you sitting up here trying to still react and act as if you were who you fucking supposed to be when you're not. You are not who you once were. You are not what you're supposed to be. Everything has been terraformed. We're dealing with vampires, energy vampires, to even down to the physical vampire shit. We don't need nobody in our spaces giving us no physical aspects about nothing and leaving it there. If you're going to give us the physical aspects, you got to give us the spiritual aspects too, as well as the mental aspects. It's all about balance, mind, body, and soul. This is what we come back to. As a people, we have to be able to balance ourselves on a triple beam scale, because no one's going to come and attribute for what we're lacking. Are we sufficient mind, body, and soul? Not in just one aspect of the other. Because one aspect of the other is not going to give us the complete balance that we need to navigate through this life. We don't understand that we're living in a paradox. So the people we dealing with are polar beings. They're looking to cipher solar energy. Soul, brother, number one. Soul, brother, number one. You want to know why you give your heart and your soul on every physical motherfucking thing that you try to do, and they get the physical win out of the solar projections that you project? You can't even sing a fucking song without going 100% within the volumes of your soul. You can't even play a basketball game without giving the physical aspects or the physical volumes of your soul. Our energy is being siphoned. The guides and the guards, those people who are in control of this atmosphere, in control of this realm, because we've given them power. So we have to change our mindsets as a people. But when we start to focus upon physical aspects, it transforms from a mental aspect or a spiritual aspect, and that's where these things come from. So once we can get back to a physical or a mental aspect of things, because one is just a different degree of another, then we can start to transform the physical. We're supposed to have blank drawing boards inside of our minds so we can project the things that we want, but we can't do that because we so surface level with everything. We fighting amongst each other when it comes to certain things. And it's not a physical fight. Think about this. When it comes to the military, there's nothing physical that we can fucking even do when it comes to this military coming into our communities and shit. We can talk all the shit we want. We can make all the plans we want to plan, but we can't sit up here and act like they don't got weapons of mass destruction that will disintegrate every single one of us niggas in 2 seconds. This is a spiritual fight. This is a mental challenge. Everything is. So once we start to give up our energy because our energy is being siphoned, they want us to start pouring our energy into their mouth rather than them having to suck it. So this is when a person who's changed from a so-called black mind, and I'm going to say this because when I say black mind, I'm just saying what they consider us as a people. Remember, we're in a paradox. Black is white and white is black. And so when they can indoctrinate you with a white mind, that's the patriotic. And it's the patriotic spirit. Color white on the flag. And they taking the red, which is your root chakra, your survival, taking your mind, and they juggling this shit up with red, white, and blue. And what happened when you mix white with red? You get pink. You get pink. So you get a lot of offset women. And what happened when you put white with blue? You get baby blue. You get a lot of powder punks or powder puff babies, which is the boys. All of this shit is symbolic. It's not about your skin color on an external level. It's all about what color is your aura. What color is your spirit? Because you don't have a certain aura color if your emotions and your and shit is always changing all the time. That means your aura's changing all the time. We always talking about spiritual shit. What kind of spirits? If you've taken upon a certain type of ego and you feel that you have a certain type of color of an aura, your aura ain't the same color all the time. If your emotions and shit is always changing, man, you always allowing these people to change your emotions and fuck with your emotions, so your aura's changing all the time. So you don't have a specific aura color. You a jive turkey, you chicken, nigga. You see how the chicken sometimes be having different colors on it and shit? And you be like, oh man, it's a stamp on it. Well, it's a stamp on your colorful ass too. If you can't stick to the Not none of this. Here's so many people sitting up here saying, man, that man said this and that man said that. I don't care what color a man is. No one deserves to die because of the shit they say. If you believe someone deserves to die because of the shit they say, no matter what color they are, then you are a fucking demonic entity yourself. You're attached to a demonic entity, man. You're fucked up. Your soul ain't right. You got holes in your motherfucking solar plex. It's all about being compatible with the creator in nature. We talk about this God character all the time, and I know a lot of people like to say God, but what God are you referring to? We're inside of a dog-eat-dog world. They tell you this. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and they're programming you to be a dog and to eat other dogs. Dog is the opposite of God. So if they can get you to convince yourself that you're a dog, if they can get you to convince yourself that you're supposed to eat other dogs, you're following this same paganistic system of vampirism, sucking the energy and the life out of other beings. When our children sign contracts with the record labels, they are sucking their whole soul. They're sucking their whole energy, and they're using it, and they're putting that out to the people to get money all the ways while this person is on the outside, and we sit there and we watch this person disintegrate. And we say, what's going on with this person? And then we start thinking of all this physical shit in our head and start calling this person a sellout and all this shit when it's bigger than that. If you can't get spiritual with this shit, then you're not going to realize what the fuck's going on. This shit is mental, physically, and spiritually. Why do you think that the powers that be, as far as the government, are telling you that they finna come deal with you, but at the same time, they worried about aliens? What are these aliens that they talking about? These aliens that they talking about are a power that's higher than them, a power that's in control of this universe. So that's why they ask us to vote every year, because the more of us that go along with their ideologies and their plans, the powers that's over them not gonna fuck with them. But so many of us are waking up right now. So many of us are tired of the bullshit that the powers that's over them are saying, hey man, it's time for us to go restore order. But when you take upon a white mindset, when you take upon a mindset that goes along with your motherfucking oppressor, it's like if you got a sister. Salutes, my brother Voodoo Child. If you got a sister, you're not going to keep fighting her boyfriend no matter how many times he keep beating her up, if she keep going back to him, because this is going to be a problem that you ain't going to be able to get rid of. That's what's happening with us, people. So when we got these agents, and I'm going to say it again, when we got these agents, okay, who keep siding with this system, see, disagreeing with a motherfucker and going against a motherfucker is two different things. I don't have to agree. I don't have to go against somebody to disagree with them. This is the knowledge that we have to come into. We got to understand the power of our minds. We got to understand that we are inside of an ecosystem. Everything is food. Our energy is being siphoned, and we're being controlled. Then you got people going to pray to a God who's even putting up with this fuckery. It's all about balance. Shout out to my brother Voodoo Child. It's all about balance. See, even on the surface level, I gotta bring myself to say, well, hey, you know what? Even though this man, it's about Christ consciousness. It's about having a fully illuminated head of light. And the head of light will be a fully illuminated body of light. See, when you got holes in your body, which is your house, which is your temple, if it's a hole in your temple, it's going to be a door or window open, and that's going to let a robber be able to come in and rob your ass. So you got to have your whole shit lit up, and you got to have your whole shit protected. Your mind, your body, and your soul. We keep getting away from this. We keep wanting to take the Bible rhetoric and get away from thinking that this shit is spiritual, when this shit is all spiritual. It's all spiral. Because if there's a collective group of people who are believing in a certain level of collective consciousness, whatever God that they believing in, that he exists. There's an energy behind that. This shit making noise. You can say all the fuck you want to say, but your words ain't powerful. Then the energy that's behind this, your energy, we can say right now, Christ don't exist. Shit, bullshit. It's a lot of people who represent Jesus Christ, and it's a lot of shit that's happening behind Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying that, that's the way to go. What I'm saying is that fucking energy exists. Think about Krishna. Nigga, think about Martin Luther King. Think about even things on a lower level, what you consist of a lower level. So what we got to understand is these people are here to siphon our energy. As long as we don't know what we are or who we are, they're here to siphon our motherfucking energy. They sending us on wild goose chases to where we can't really comprehend what's going on. They got us out of touch with reality. So if we're in this reality and we're thinking things that's happening that's not really happening, then that means that we're not reacting in the way that we're supposed to be reacting. Think about if you in a boxing ring. I'm a boxer. So I know if I throw a fake left jab and this person attributes to my fake left and he go to block my fake left, then I know I'm finna knock him out with a right punch. He just went to block my left. This is what's happening to us, people. So we have to stop these physical aspects. We shouldn't be on these panels talking about that white man should have died for some shit he said, man. That's evil, nigga. I don't care if I don't like somebody, bro. Now, I'll fight your ass about some shit, but you dying is a whole nother level of some shit. I can't wish death on nobody if I want to live. If I wish death on a motherfucker, then I too should be put to death for the shit that I say. There's people who don't agree with the shit I say. It's about balance, nigga. You can't fucking run off on the... Niggas used to running off on the plug. Now you think you finna run off on the divine of what God really is or what the fuck you niggas calling God. Maybe your janky ass God operate like that, but the creator don't operate like that, nigga. You trying to anthropomorphize God. You want God to be according to the way your fake ass is. You want to play with booty, so you want God to accept playing with booty. That's your ass. It don't work like that. You got to be compatible with God and nature, nigga. If you ain't compatible with God and nature, so shall your ass fade away. And that's why these people are winning right now, because they are sucking our solar energy, our solar power. What's coming from within us, they're taking that and they're projecting sadness and fear and shit upon us. But when they receive it on their end, it's like sucking out of a straw. So when they receive it on their end, it be good by the time it get to them. It's a mirroring effect that's happening. This is what's going on. So we have to understand so that we can know that this is a spiritual war. It's nothing physical to this shit. You hear about war, you hear about rumors of war and all that shit, you supposed to let that shit be. Because guess what? You can't do nothing about that anyway. Why the fuck will we hype up these children in Chicago to go out there motherfucker and fight the National Guard? And we know they ain't got the weapons to fight no motherfucking National Guard. We sending them to an early grave. Why? So they can please your motherfucking ass. So you can sit up and say, man, that was a good fight. That's what's wrong with you motherfuckers now. Every time something start happening, instead of y'all trying to take care of the situation or fix it, y'all pulling out y'all motherfucking phones. You niggas are poster child ass niggas. I'm tired of you niggas online. Y'all ain't out here in the street like that, dealing with nobody, helping no families, being God on this motherfucking earth. You niggas are frauds, and I can see you niggas. You want to get online. You want to get all the people to give you all their motherfucking money so you can do some more devious ass shit. I'm tired of you niggas. Where is the love? Where's the compassion? Where's the work? Then the people who have put forth some certain type of level of work, you want to come in and say they ain't shit because you don't want to do no work. You think we just supposed to set you on high because of the words that's coming out of your motherfucking mouth. You niggas frauds, man. Where do we go from here? If we don't understand that we are food for these people, we've been food for these people. They're sucking our energy so they can stay here. There is no overturning of energy. There is no overturning of power. They're not around to overturn the power for us either. So any motherfucker coming in talking about, we just want a piece of the pie and we gonna get at this table and we gonna overturn things too. What are we gonna overturn? We steady giving the power to these people. So if you right now today saying you want to give the power to the troops to go in into these cities and stuff, to round up all these people. Don't you know the more people they round up, the more energy they get, the more power they get? So how you gonna ever overtake something if we just coming in and sit at the table, just say that? Quit having the people under the guise of, that we're going to do a revolution. Shit been taken from us. We want back what's ours. See, when we start looking at a person who talking like that and they feed not information with the information that's coming out their motherfucking mouth, when they talking about taking over some shit and then you see them go sit down at the same table with the people who they talking about taking some shit from, fuck them. And I don't care who it is. I'm tired of these niggas. I'm tired of these bitches. Because they ain't doing nothing but coming to play with the people. They coming to play with the minds of the people. They coming to play with the hearts of the people. They coming to play with the emotions of the people, and I'm tired of these niggas. That's why the fuck they don't like me. Everything is food. If you are not serving these so-called gods are the plain nets. There are plain nets that are in place when it comes to astrology, when it comes to the days of the week, when it comes to the planets. There are things that we give reverence to that we have no knowledge of, or we are unconsciously giving reverence to, that are controlling us because our energy is being siphoned. We're dealing with entities that are ages of years old, man. This ain't no 50-year, 60-year, 100-year-old thing. This shit been going on since the beginning of time. So I don't want to hear no niggas sitting up here with no motherfucking surface level ass thoughts. These people sit up here and told you that it's some big black shit coming out the sky. Hey, man, then they told you all about them big black shadows and shit that was in Miami, too. I'm going to say it's demonic energies. I'm going to say it's demonic energies. That's what I see able to infiltrate and able to take over people. And then if I keep looking for some physical shit to come in rather than looking at a physical nigga who's being overtaken, then I'm gonna miss this shit the whole time. Look at these people who out here on this fentanyl and all this type of shit. These people are out here on these streets. They are having conversations with shit that's not even here. They are not acting like themselves. No one can pinpoint what's going on with these people. This is demonic possession. Look at all these homosexual children that we got out here on the street. These homosexual children are under demonic possession. Talking about they was born in the wrong body. That's that other motherfucking spirit talking. That shit ain't true. That shit ain't real. So in one sense, you gonna tell me that you believe in God, and then the other sense, you gonna tell me that God's a fucking dummy because he don't know how to put the same body in the right body, the right fucking spirit in the right body. Come on, man. What are we talking about? This shit is in the food. We eating shit that got parasites in it, and when these parasites go into your body, they are a parasite. Para. What is para? The unnormal, the not physical shit. A site, a parasite. It go in your body, and this is a pivot point for a parasite to take its projection point. What are we talking about? What are we doing? We just got too many niggas who ready to spit some fucking stupid logic, or some niggas who want to come out and who just want to sound smart. Fuck that sounding smart shit, nigga. It's a war going on outside, bro. The people need answers. The people need clarity. People can say all day they don't need no leader, but you do. You already food. You already getting ate. If you think you free right now, if you think you have the opportunity to be free in this motherfucking universe, you are a written off slave. You written off. You a jive turkey. You a fucking chicken. You gonna get fat and you gonna feed your enemy because you don't know what the fuck going on. You are a true definition of the blind leading the motherfucking blind. A lot of niggas. Because don't nobody have to have no certain level of esoteric knowledge. Nobody has to have a certain educational level. Niggas get on YouTube. YouTube lets you post your shit, you post your shit. If you can sell people a good game, you sell people a good game. But nigga, where your motherfucking heart really at? Where your motherfucking soul really lie? Cause like my brother Nasir say, there's a lot of troops who are not going to go through with their motherfucking plan. It's a lot of troops who gonna get a lot of rules and a lot of missions to go in and do shit to people, and they gonna say, hell nah, I ain't doing that. This is where this plan breaks up at. See, this is where this shit go from the physical to the non-physical. Everything is food, man. Even when we look at nature, even when we look at fruits, vegetables, everything that's built under this construct is food, bro. Everything is information that's able to be given to something that's higher than itself. But if we don't really recognize what's higher than us, if we're giving our energy to some shit that's not really higher than us, this is how this is playing out on the physical plane. I don't want to hear about this physical plane shit because we came into this conscious community understanding that consciousness overrides all. All is thought. That's why I said you are food for thought, because thought running the opposite way on your ass. That's right, Voodoo Child. Are we doing this shit for content or control? Because your content can help the control of the powers that be. So we gotta be careful what the fuck you saying. You gotta be careful what comes out of your mouth. You gotta be careful how your ideas are being interpreted. We gotta be careful of a lot of shit, and nobody thinks they gotta be careful. Everybody think they can just say and do whatever the fuck they want. Us as black men, we got our black woman running rampant, and we can't even get control of her. We just saying she can't be tamed, and that's why they fucking us over, and they laughing at us about this shit. The black man will forever be the laughing stock of the planet until he can get his woman under control. If the black man can't get his woman under control, nigga, you can't control shit. Hey, my brother Brun, salute. You can't control shit, bro. You can't get your woman in control. You got control over all the other women. White women want you. Asian women want you. I mean, the Asian women got a reason to want you. You know what I'm saying? But if we can't get our own woman in control, then what are we gonna control? How can we control anything? And I'm talking about me, myself, as personally. Nigga, you know how many relationships I done had with other races of women just because it was so hard to deal with white women? I mean, with black women. We gotta get our woman and not have her under control as far as making her a slave or nothing like that. We gotta have her under control as far as being able to work with her. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying have her under control as far as her being a slave or mistreating her or nothing like that. She needs to be treated fairly so that we can be able to properly deal with her. We need our black women. But now we don't reach the point to where our black women don't think that they need us, and now that we think that we don't need our black women. This is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a spiritual warfare. They hidden from the inside and waiting for the projection to come on the outside. This is where we gotta be prevalent too. A lot of shit we doing with these gods and these schools of thoughts and all this type of shit is ciphering a lot of energy, and we ain't really realizing that shit, man. We taking this shit for granted. You know, we are misconstruing what was led for us. And a lot of our people don't really want to go with a lot of this shit that's in the Bible, but like it said, two or more, when there's two or more, so shall it be. So we know that when we link up with two people and we able to put our mindset with another person on some shit, and we're able to project our thoughts into a certain thought pattern, then things always work out. YouTube just came against me, threatening to shut my monetization off and all that shit. I had my mind projected on my channel doing numbers. My channel doing numbers right now, man. I just gained like 2,000 subscribers, nigga, in like the last 2 days, nigga. The mind powerful, bro. Don't tell me how powerful the mind is. Don't tell me how powerful the mind is. I know how powerful the mind is. Nigga, I just got 500,000 views on one motherfucking video. Out of nowhere, overnight, right when YouTube was coming against me to tell me that my shit about to lose monetization. Then when I woke up this morning, YouTube said, nah, man, we was just playing, bro. We meant to send that shit to somebody else. We weren't talking to you. I know you weren't fucking talking to me. You can't fuck with me. I'm telling you this. I didn't have to make no video, none of that. This is what I'm telling y'all. All is mine. All is thought. You are food for thought. If you can't think, you food for thought. If you can't master yourself, if you can't master your light body, if you can't master your shadow self, as well as your physical self, then you are fucked. If you can't be the nigga sitting down who's controlling the devil and the angel that's on your motherfucking shoulder, then you are fucked, buddy. You have a fucking problem in this world. That's how you can be in this world and not of this world at the same motherfucking time. If you can sit there, if you can be the nigga that has the angel and the demon on his shoulder, and if you can control yourself as a person, which is to control your emotions, and your shadow self, which is the self that represents the darkness or the downside of you, which would project these situations and shit, because even if you a changed person, your shadow self will still be able to implement situations within your life which are bad situations that don't coincide with the person who you are today. So you have to be able to bring a balance upon your shadow self, your light self, which is your higher mind, which is your lower mind, and which is your physical self, who you are today. It's all about you. It's you versus you. It's not you versus what the fuck's in the media, okay? Because what's in the media is going to turn you. And when the media turn you, it's going to make you, it's going to put a recipe on your ass to where you taste good to them. And when they put a recipe on you to where you start tasting good, they going to keep feeding on your ass. Yeah, because you don't stop eating shit you like until you just eat so much to where you don't want no more. But this ain't what's happening with this entity right here. It ain't gonna never get tired of eating your ass. As long as you continue to taste the way they want you to taste, they gonna continue eating you. Yeah, this is what I'm telling you. It's you versus you. Every nigga is a star. Let me repeat that. Every nigga is a star. You project with the stars because you got an arm, leg, arm, head, just like a star do. 5-point star. You are a projection. So once you realize you are a projection and you are projected down to this earth, you realize that there are planets or planets that's above the stars. Right? But the stars are here to serve you in your physical form, because the stars is the initial projection. Shit come from the stars. When we want to travel to the stars and shit, what they say? This shit light years away. But then you will let these motherfuckers tell you that they can get on the screen and that they can get to outer space in 5 hours, like we going to Connecticut or some shit. Man, get out of here, bro. This shit light years away. See, I overstand shit. I don't understand nothing. I don't understand nothing. We got to start representing the creator. We got to start representing our life force, the energy that's inside of you. Where does that energy come from? You might have a demonic ass spirit. I don't know. I don't know, man. But salutes to everybody, man. Much love and respect. We gonna come back tonight. Is white on white crime a problem in America? And should Donald Trump be sending the troops to these white cities and town first? You know, I have my brother Nasir. I have my brother T. Wriggles. You know, I appreciate those brothers, man. Salutes to everybody. Salutes to Voodoo Child. Voodoo Child, please pull up, brother. J Unique Hudson, salute, bro. My brother Brun, salute. Salutes to everybody, man. My brother T. Wriggles. Much love and respect, man. You know, my brother, the enemy's public, brother Nasir. Salutes to all of y'all. And man, you know, I'm here with a purpose. I want to give my energy to doing what I'm doing. I don't want to be misconstrued when I transfer this energy, because I want us to all be on the same mental level with each other as we should be, man. So it's